how much that would make a difference to maybe what you think about tomorrow. Go ahead and sit down, sir. Well, they initially wanted me to come up with things that we can do to possibly change our situation. Well, I think wisdom is the biggest key. There's nothing I could tell you myself that could make you make better choices other than to do the research yourself. Because no one should ever take a word from anyone's mouth without finding out for themselves. But today I'd like to read what I quote as my State of the Union address. So here we go. My friends, my countrymen, I come to you today to give you the State of the Union. This nation has entered its death throes, and as its last breaths for air expire, it is our task as Americans to reignite the flames of freedom. When it comes to our national finance, we are at the worst point in history, with the world's largest debt. Our debt has come from our lack of wisdom concerning the world stage. We have allowed the governing body to attack our people and destroy our Constitution by ignoring the actions our leaders past and present have taken in direct opposition to the founding ideals and morals that this nation was built to protect. We have failed to not only hold our leaders responsible for poor fiscal spending, but in many cases we have failed to hold ourselves responsible. This nation is more divided now than any other time in history. But today, we begin to unite as a whole nation, not divided by party, religion, skin color, or gender. We are united under the cause of liberty once again. Those flames begin to rise. Do not be afraid to speak out and be proud of being an American once again. We are coming together on our own because we are fools to seek change from any politically motivated individual. And our only recourse is to realize that our enemy is not each other, but those who attack our people, our way of life, and those who attack our Constitution. Our enemy is where our anger should be directed, as well as ourselves for our part in this mess. It is time that we hear the bitter truth, rather than to hear sugar-coated lies from those who speak as if our nation is doing well. We now see that others will see, as their eyes are opened, the true State of the Union. We must clean house, and I intend to start doing that with the White House, and Congress, and the Federal Reserve. You want to slave Washington? But I want my liberty. The result is I will gain my liberty, and you will lose your slave, whether it be through life or death. If there is one thing that you cannot take from me, it is my liberty. Because you may take my body and break it, but you can never break my spirit. This is the State of the Union, and we are in decay. This nation's last breath for air is not far off, and this land is crying out for us to stand up for liberty before it is lost. This is the true State of the Union. I felt so compelled to write a few more lines here that are separated from my State of the Union address. This is a war, whether it be of flesh and blood or ideas and rights. So you may ask, how do we fight this war? Well, let it begin as thus. We shall take the higher ground and do what our government has not. Where they act as swine, we shall act as saints. When they attack us in the streets or in the media, we must resist to return fire and stay organized. When they lose focus, we will strain to keep ours crystal clear. When they are dishonest, we must do our best to remain honest. And when they push us, we must restrain ourselves to not push right back. You ask, why must we be of the higher moral ground? Because they are our servants. Would it not look foolish for the master to sink to the level of his servant until such offense brings to bloodshed? I say we can hold this ground, and that we can be more wise with how we do things in this country. We must continue to interpose them until such a time that they draw first and or second blood. For our cause is not one of violence but of peace. We strive to fight this war of ideas in the classroom and in Congress. We demand that our voices be heard all around the world, and not just in the United States. That those on the other side of the earth will see that we do not stay silent when wrongs are done to us. If this ever reaches the point of bloodshed, heaven forbid. But if it ever does, we must be able to say, as our forefathers once said to the world, that we are the innocent, and we have been assaulted, that we we suffer from tyranny and that they are the guilty party. It is imperative that we do all we can until all avenues have been tested and all routes have been taken before this war spills out from ideas to blood and death. What else can we do to release our rights back to us? And the answer is, exercise the rights you have. Use them as often as you can, for it is the rights that you do not use that are the first ones stripped from you. Keep your voice loud and clear. Let them know that we will not stay silent, for no one can be a victim but by choice. You have to choose to stay injured and choose to stay wounded. I call you all out now to stand up with us often and never ceasing. Now is the time that this country and this world will know who we are. Now is the time that we will rise up and take back what they have stolen from us. We are the voice of the silent majority. Are you listening, Washington? We will not stay silent!